Today I'm going to show you how I put together a couple of these statue pieces for my Warcry terrain board. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. We're going to start things off with a quick painting rundown on how I set up the paint scheme for the pieces for the realmscape. We're going to start things off with some burnt umber just to kind of dress up the sandy sections of the base. Now this is going to make a nice dark underlayer for future dry brushing, and help it blend in with the ground around it once we set it onto the board. Then we're going to follow that up with a medium dry brush of raw sienna. While that's drying, we're going to do a almost all over coat with basilicanum gray. Now when I say almost all over, I'm really only putting this on the stone sections of the broken wall, as well as the base of the pillar sections and the area that the statue is standing on, but not really much else. Next, we're going to use some Agrax Earthshade on the statue section. Now I'm going to do two coats here because I want to have that kind of earthy, almost red coloration for the statue. And I'm hoping that it'll look a little bit more like marble once we've applied some dry brushes. While that's drying, we're going to go ahead and coat over all of the basilicanum gray with the Earthshade. This will give it a nice earthy texture and make it look a lot more like stone. Next, I'm going to fill in these runes with some Blood Angels Red. This will help the runes to stand out against the paint layers that are going to go over them and really help them pop. Now using some copper from the Artist Loft series of paints, I'm going to go over a lot of the trim sections on the statue. Now, these sections don't really need to be done this way, and I could just do a bunch of dry brushes to fill out the model, but I wanted some accents like the statue had been decorated and then just kind of forgotten about over time. Now I am taking a lot of care not to get the paint inside of the runes, otherwise I'd have to go back and redo the filled in sections again. Now I did end up doing two coats of the copper on the statue just to make sure that everything looked nice and crisp. Then we're going to use it to paint the tops and bottoms of these little support pillar sections. This will give it a little bit of accent color down towards the bottom and help break up the stony texture and coloration. Next, I'll use some Retributor armor to pick out a couple of small details on the statue. I don't want this to be too fancy or flashy, so this is just going to pick out a few of the smaller details. Next, I'll use it to paint the top section of the pillar, as well as the middle of all of the support columns. Next, I'm going to use some granite steel to paint a couple of small details on the statue, and then paint the intersection of all of the support columns. Next, we're going to use some neutral gray to do a light to medium dry brush of all of the stonework on the broken wall, as well as some light dry brushing of the statue. This will help bring out kind of the stone marble effect that I'm hoping to achieve. Now we're going to use a little bit of rattling grime. This is going to be used to kind of create a weather effect for all of the copper sections. This will also help to tone down some of the brightness of the copper. Now we're going to finish up the paint with a light to medium dry brush of parchment all over the piece. This is going to help soften some of the harsh edges and tone down a little bit of the brightness of some of the areas. And you can't quite see it on camera, but it really does help to blend everything together as far as the dry brushes and the coloring on the statue goes. Alright, now that that's done, it's time to start marking the position of the statues on the boards. Now I'm doing this with just a quick, simple Sharpie marker, and then to create some uneven kind of ground texture and elevations, I'm using a little bit of some sanded tile grout. Once I've got it spread out and kind of clumped down where I want it, I'm just kind of using my fingers to smooth out some of the rough edges and just kind of make sure everything is pressed in firmly so that it has good adhesion to the foam board. Now, I did learn kind of the hard way that as you're doing this with your fingers, you really want your fingers to stay dry, because as soon as they start to get wet, the grout will just kind of continuously stick to your hands, and it just takes a lot longer than you want it to. Alright, so once that dried, I applied a layer of sand to the entirety of the board using some Mod Podge, and now I'm giving it a full coat of burnt umber, just to kind of create that underlayer of dark brown dirt. Now we're going to do a dry brush of Artist Loft Gray, and then follow it up with some neutral gray. Now to help tone down the brightness of that a little bit, we're going to do a dry brush of 1-to-1 mix of parchment and raw sienna. This will help kind of blend the colors in, but shouldn't cover up any of the previous dry brush layers. And then I'm just going to pick out a couple of raised areas with some neutral gray, and we are finished. Alright everyone, so here we are with the finished pieces. I think these turned out pretty nice, and I'm not sure if I want to put some borders on them or not yet. Alright, so thank you all for watching. Please hit that like button, subscribe for future content, comment in the comments section, let me know how I'm doing, and we will see everyone next episode.